time ever in the last year, when you have a brand new president in Colombia and his ambassador who's here, actually here at this conference I'm going to meet with in a few minutes. You're starting to see that Miami is pulling resources from parts of the world that it never used to pull resources from. We have investment from Russia, India, Japan, China, the Middle East, Israel. We're expanding our direct flights and our connectivity throughout the world. So as we become better connected and as our technological borders come down more and more as a result of the ability to be where you want to be, not where you have to be, I think Miami stacks up very, very well in that competition going forward.
That's really interesting. And obviously with all cities around the world, as we were saying before, is desperate for entrepreneurship and startups. And obviously you've got to come here. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I think there's 3 or 4 ways. First, we have a very robust startup culture. So that is there. A ton of incubation and incubation labs that are existing. Next, we as a city are investing in scaling up. We're investing money in Endeavor. We're investing money in 500 startups, which are programs that are based on the principle that we should be scaling up these businesses. We are 8th in the U.S. in venture capital, something that people don't know. We have over $1 billion in venture capital, and that's something that's an area of growth where obviously to scale up you need capital and you need mentorship, and I think that's what these organizations are providing. And then I think having an anchor tenant like Amazon, I think is the game changer. I think being in the top 20 was a game changer. I think it really made people stop and say, hey, what's happening in Miami that is causing a company of Amazon's size to look at it seriously? And I think what's happening is we're not only #1 in startups, we're not only investing in scaling up, but we are educating and producing educational and intellectual talent and exporting that talent throughout the world and throughout Latin America. We've grown our tech sector in jobs 20% over the last 5 years. And yet we're still producing more intellectual talent and exporting more intellectual talent to other parts of the world beyond that 20% growth. So I think that means that if you're a big company and you want to provide the kind of, I think it's 50,000 jobs that Amazon wants to bring, and it's a $5 billion annual investment.
And how art, culture comes together, and just maybe if we were talking about of how you've seen this area develop, maybe to share with some people.
It's really amazing. I mean, to have so many innovators, not only on the technological side, but on the development side, on the architectural side, on the arts and culture side. We're going to be making a big announcement in the next few weeks at the beginning of Art Basel about a brand new museum that's coming to the city of Miami. So it seems like every year at Basel, we're doing something transformational. Just last year, I cut the ribbon for the International Contemporary Arts Museum, the ICA, that was founded by the Bremen family. And that was, that in combination with the De La Cruz Gallery that's right next door, is the size of the Whitney in New York. And so people don't realize that we're starting to compete culturally with the major cities in the world. And I think, like you said, that continues to attract people that are intellectually stimulated by arts and culture. And we're working on keeping Ultra, so that's something that we're gonna try to do, which is a huge music festival that we have in the city of Miami. We're being looked at by Formula One. There's only 21 Formula One races in the world, only one other one in the U.S. where you were born in Texas. And it's the London joke.
You're getting some British humor there.
There you go. So we would, and we're also hopefully going to have a Major League Soccer, MLS, which is an amazing ownership group with George Moss, who's a Miami born and bred, head of a publicly traded company, Massason from SoftBank, Marcelo Claure from Sprint, formerly from Sprint, now from SoftBank, Simon Fuller, and of course, this British guy, David Beckham. I don't know, you may have heard of him.
There's only one mistake that I have to say that you just said, Mr. Mayor, is it's not soccer, it's called football.
My apologies.
Very good.
I don't want to upset anybody on the Miami Dolphins.
You said something before, which I find is really fascinating. You mentioned when Uber came here, you saw, accidents went down, and obviously tech for good. How do you think that cities in